Hey guys, I'm filming at camp today. I don't know where to look, so I'm just looking. Oh my god, there's a fucking pillow in the way. Okay. That, I guess, this is how you guys are gonna have to view the video, with me looking at this myself and not the camp. I'm gonna try. I don't know where to start, to be honest. Okay. Let's start with, I'm at camp because it's Pride. Drove out here for Pride. I was here last year. I was seeing somebody who lived here, and they introduced me to their friends, so I had people to hang out with, and I had them to talk to and hang out with, which made me feel a little bit safer. This time around, I don't really have any friends aside from one who had to work all weekend. All of his friends deleted me, even though I did nothing to them. And now pretend like I don't exist, which is cool, that's fine, they're his friends. Even though he went on forever about how I'm gonna have so many friends after this and they're still gonna be my friends, blah blah blah. I knew that wasn't gonna work out when he got a new bitch. Anyways, 3 months later. Anyways, so that happened, and I came here because I've not been well lately, like mentally, and I thought that getting away would help me, but it's not. And I don't know how to best get this through to people. I am not okay, and I don't really know how to become okay. It's something that I'm working on really hard. Every day I try. I want to be better. I want to be okay. I don't want to be a sad, miserable bitch who just lays in my bed and can't get up. You know, last year I was a vibe. I was so happy. I was doing great, and my cats were at my ex-husband's place, and I was out here for my birthday, and I was seeing someone and things felt great. I felt great about myself. I felt really confident and happy. And that breakup devastated the fuck out of me. And I don't know if it was just the breakup itself or if it was all of the things that led up to the breakup, which was my marriage not working out, right? And then I didn't feel like I was enough in my marriage. And I was thinking about this earlier. When I met my ex-husband, and this is nothing bad about my ex-husband, and this is something that people don't understand, we'll always love each other. It's going to be a very complicated love and a very different type of love than what most people are used to, but people often get frustrated with why Daniel is still in my life and why we still are like friends or like talk to each other or like even argue with each other. I've known that man since I was 5 years old. I don't really know a version of my life without him in it. We didn't have we had a lot of similarities growing up, and a lot of that similarity was grounded in a certain type of loneliness, and it was that we were really all that we had. And so when I felt neglected, and I assume probably him as well, it really destroyed me. And even in my marriage to him, though, like, I was people often call me a love bomber, and I don't want to be mistaken for that, because love bombing usually insinuates that it stops. I don't think I've ever stopped. When I first met my ex-husband, not when I first met him, when I first started going out with my ex-husband, we were 15, and for 6 months, I chased after this man. For 6 months. I gave him, and it was so nonchalant, because the thought hadn't really been there at all. I mean, I didn't want to date until I was in college, and then I was just going to experiment a lot, because I'm gay, and I wasn't really sure, like, where I was leaning or how my life would go, and it just felt like it was really complicated, and I hated that kids were dating so young, and having sex so young, and I was like, I'll just wait till I get to college, I'll do it then, and then, like, I'll just go wild, like, it'll be great. never went to college. But I met Daniel, and then, or I didn't meet him. We were all hanging out, and I got a text from my friend that said, "Are any of them cute?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, one of them is kind of cute." And then that's where it started. And it's like my brain, and this is how it's been my whole life, this is, you're gonna see how this leads into current events. It's like my brain, maybe I am autistic, I don't know. It's like my brain latches on to something, and then it doesn't unlatch. And I know I have a lot of abandonment issues, and that's probably a lot of where this stems from, is that I don't want to abandon other people, or I don't want to abandon an idea or a thought. I like to commit to everything that I do. And in that, I struggle with making decisions greatly, and I think it's because I commit to decisions. But for Valentine's Day, made him like, I got him a box of chocolates, like a heart box of chocolates, and I wrote a poem inside. And I gave that to him anonymously at lunch, but everybody knew it was me. And then I walked with him every day after school, and I texted him, and I think one time I asked him out, and he acted like he never saw it. And it wasn't until 6 months later, after people like prodded and were like talking about it, like, when are you ever gonna ask her out, like, what's going on, did we finally start like dating. Did he ask me out? He asked me out at the mailbox, near in between both of our houses, because my grandma lived here and his parents lived like right here, and then the mailbox, we like met in the middle. And I was so happy that day. And I dated after him. You know, we broke up a few times, and I had a relationship with somebody who I felt wanted me to be too much too soon, and now I look back on that, I'm like, that was stupid. But also, he was kind of a cheating slut, so no harm, no foul. And then I dated another person who lied and claimed they liked everything I liked, and like were so mean to people around them, like their mother, their best friend. They were always shit talking other people, but they loved me, they cherished me, they did everything for me, and like pretended to like things that I liked. But I was so concerned about their personality and where that was gonna take us in the future that I ended it. I was like, no, I don't like how you treat other people. I don't like how you'll say you like something and then later on I catch you in that lie. Like, this doesn't feel like it's something that's going to, I lost the word. This doesn't feel like a thing that's going to continue on or continue to happen. So, we broke it off, and now I'm like, that was stupid, because he did everything you wanted him to do and would have like worshipped the ground you walked on. It was just mean to other people. Who gives a fuck? But I still do that now. Like, if I meet somebody who's mean to people around them, or who's negatory, or who has a negative view of people, which is so crazy, because out of everyone in the world, I think I have a justified reason for thinking people are shit, or that all people suck. But I don't. I think inherently most people do, but I don't think it's anyone's fault ever. I always give everyone the benefit of the doubt, or I try to see the good in people, or the reason as to why they're so fucked up. Like, maybe their parents did pills, or now they do pills. Maybe their parents were abusive. Maybe they struggled in their last relationship. Maybe they have trauma. Maybe they're autistic. Maybe they don't know how to converse with people. I don't know. Like, I always just look for something, and I know that that's my problem. Anyways, so I got him the box of chocolates, wrote him a letter. 6 months this went on, and then 6 months later he asked me out. We ended up dating. It lasted 11 years. But there were a lot of bad things that I don't think should have been allowed to occur without a divorce. I think that we let things get way too out of hand. I think me in particular, because I knew where things were heading, and I knew how bad it was, and I knew how bad I was, and like where I was at, and I gave warning, and I mentioned it a couple times, but I think that it was just too, it really just fell apart. And when you don't cherish somebody, when you don't love somebody forever, it doesn't work out. And the thing is like, I continued, right? I wore lingerie, I did birthday cakes, I did like specialty ones, birthday parties. I did like surprises, like getting a name tattooed on the chest or buying them a new console. Like, I listened and I tried to make special moments for my partner. And a lot of people stopped doing that. So when people like meet me and I do things for them, like I took this guy lunch to work and drove hours to see him and other stuff. People, when I do things for people like that, I feel like they either A, take it for granted, or B, they see it as like some type of love bombing that I'm not going to be able to continue. And when I say that, I'm thinking particularly about one person from the beginning, and because this is where I was heading, right? Is that it feels like a lot of people want something from me nowadays. I am all mixed up in the brain. I'm trying to explain this as best I could. I feel like okay. I feel like I had to quit dating because everyone just wants something from me, even though I don't really have anything to give. And after Thor died, I kind of just fell apart. The breakup, grandma dying, losing the house to my father, my car getting totaled, my cat, Thor passing away. There was a lot of other little stuff too in between there, but I can't even, the other big things were so big I can't even begin to mention them. And this was all from January to, and some guy stole my favorite shirt. This went from January to fucking April, and people just continue to expect me to be normal and be okay, and I can't even leave my bed. So I came here to try to feel better, and I just don't. I just feel sad, and I miss my cat, and I miss seeing him every morning and being with him, and he loved me. He truly did, more than anybody else. And instead, I repaid him by going out and partying and being depressed over dickheads. And the whole thing with the guy from out here, it set me back so much. It hurt me so bad that I just wasn't like functioning at home. I was going out to get drunk. I was trying to meet other people. I was, doing OnlyFans. I was trying to do anything that I could to like distract myself from the pain that I was feeling. And again, like, I don't think it was him as much as it was just all of the past stuff, which we're gonna get back to. Shit, I lost my train of thought. But anyway, so I feel like when I start dating, everybody wants something from me, and I don't really have anything to give. And what's crazy about that is they all want something, but none of them want to give you anything in return. They don't want a relationship, they don't want this, they don't want that, and then they'll say they want a relationship, and then they don't. And almost all of them want to talk to you about sex prior to taking you out, which is wild. But I was messaging this one guy, and it was fun. I was having fun, and he was helping with OnlyFans and stuff. And then one night I had a really bad night. I had a lot of bad nights that whole week. Actually, the whole month. I had a lot of bad nights the past couple months. And I get tired of being like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm not in a good mood. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not okay. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm delicate right now. Because, like, I just am. I just have been for months. I just am. I don't know what people expect of me. It happened back to back to back to back to back to back to back, again and again and again and again and again. I feel very unloved. I feel like I'm hard to love, and I feel like the only thing that did love me is gone. So I don't know, like, where this thought process people get that I'm just gonna like snap to and be normal, and I can just talk about sex and have fun and be cute and be fun. Like, I can't. And they messaged me and they're like, hey, how you doing tonight? And I was like, oh, I'm not going good tonight. And the reason that I didn't message anybody else, and this goes on to something else I want to talk about, the reason that I didn't message anyone that day was because I knew where I was at mentally, and I knew that I was going to be a bummer. So why would I talk to somebody, especially somebody who doesn't want a relationship with me that I'm just having fun with? I'm not fun right now, so I'm not going to talk to you. And I'm like, it's not going well, and he asked why, and I was like crashing out over this fucking moving truck that blocked the road at 10 o'clock at night and would not fucking move. Two of us are out there blaring our horns. I'm knocking on the guy's fucking door. No one's coming to move this truck. I'm livid. He's texting me, And I'm also pissed because I didn't go to my little sister's graduation, guys. Why did I not go to my little sister's graduation, you ask? Oh, because throughout everything that I've done for my family and my little sister, even though I never should have had to do those things because she's not my kid, she's my mother's. And also I was told by my mom that I never do shit for them and that she's only ever called me twice to take care of Sam or to stop their fighting. I don't blame her. She's a kid for what happened. It is what it is. But because of it, I didn't end up going. I'm very over drama in my life, or having to deal with negativity, or people putting me down, or telling me that I'm not good enough, or that I need to change. I've done nothing my whole life but change for other people, or try to be better, or look at myself and blame myself for being the thing that's wrong. And honestly, like, it can't. It can't be me my whole life. And I look at all these relationships that failed and I'm like, it's me, it's me, it's me. It's not me. It's the core of my life has made me so depressed, so guarded, so fucked up that I can't make new things happen. I can't begin new successes because the core is fucking ruined. There is nothing here. You shake it, it's empty. Because everyone's taken. And so this guy wanted me, you know, to be cutesy or whatever, and because he had a great night that night, and I'm sure he just wanted to talk to somebody and tell them about it, except that I'm not his girlfriend, so I don't owe him anything. And he immediately jumped to the defense of my sister. And I don't think it was because he agreed with her. I think it was because he was feeling some type of way. And he didn't even know the situation, so I was like, you don't know the situation. I'll just let her do this, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, whoa, shit. And then I like tried to change the subject and I'm like, how was your thing? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, great. Oh, cool. Now he's pissed at me because you came to me to tell me how you felt about my situation. Unsolicited, by the way. After you asked me if I was doing okay and I said no, and now you're angry because you didn't get the response you wanted, which was someone to suck your dick because you had a good day? Fuck no. And I know he's gonna see this, but whatever, I don't even care. I got fans on fans on fans, but nobody wants to fucking take care of me. It's wild. And I don't need to be taken care of like I'm a child. I need to be taken care of, like, I need a fucking hug because my cat died and I had no one to hold me. I had no one to hug me. I had no one to cry to. And I'm like, well, if Grandma was still alive, that's who I would have cried to, but she wouldn't even have been good for that because she didn't understand me and my cats. And a lot of people don't understand me and my cats. And it leads me back to this idea that I've become so guarded. I pride myself on this idea that I always tell the truth, that I'm a very honest, open book. But if I'm being really deep down to my core, try to be honest. I'm really trying to be honest here because I'm still trying to figure myself out. I think the one thing I always wanted from my life, well, besides to travel and to see the world, was because I was robbed of so much from such a young age. Like, I've mourned my whole life. That I, like, wanted to be someone who could give more to somebody in the future. Whether that be my partner or my child or whatever. I don't have a partner. And I can't have kids. And I got Thor. And I had a lot of pets before I had Thor. I had Rosie, I had Nico, and Rosie was super attached to my ex, which kind of sucked. It made me feel like I wasn't, like, she loved me, but I just didn't feel like I was I wasn't her main focal point, and I kind of wanted my own, baby, and she was supposed to be my Christmas present, but you know how girls are. And then I got Nico, but Nico was more for Rosie because Rosie was so alone. She didn't have anyone to hang out with. And she saw Nico at the store and they got along really well. And so I got Nico. Thor, I got for me. I really wanted him. I needed an emotional support animal. And he was cute and handsome. And they said he wasn't going to last long because of his runtness. But he did. And oh man, he was so perfect. He was such a good fucking cat. And I got Archie after that. But Archie was my mom and my sister's dog. He was already a little bit older when I got him. And although I super connected with him, he's my ex's dog. My ex loves that dog. They do everything together. And all the training I did with him out the window. That is my ex's dog, okay? So, you know, the only training that stuck, the only animal that was super truly mine was Thor. And I mean, we did everything, dude. I laid up 3 months in my bed, and he just laid on top of me when I had surgery. When I would wake up in the morning, he wouldn't wake up until I woke up. So I would wake up every morning, and I would just see him. He would either be next to me in bed, or he would be on the tower. And I just think, man, he deserved better than me. And that's why I think that I deserve such shit. And I know that I deserve more from the world, but when I think about my boy and how many days he sat in that house by himself, how many nights I stayed the night at someone else's house, or came out and did something like this, or just wasn't home. Fuck. And I think about, like, I would come home from work and he would just, like, be in the window waiting for me. So, you know, I say things like, I don't want kids. And, oh man, I say things like, it doesn't hurt. It's fine. I'm fine. It is what it is. And I say things like, I didn't even want that. You know, I always try to play things off casually, cool. Like, I remember I dropped my phone one time and somebody was like, and the person I was with at the time, they went, oh my god, you were so chill about that, blah, blah, blah. That's my phone. I don't give a fuck about it, which is sad because all my photos are on there. But I know if I get a new phone, they'll just transfer. So, which I need to start doing real photos, by the way, guys. I want to live a real life now. I'm tired of not having any actual photos or scrapbooks or anything of my life. But, you know, I say these things, and it guards me. And then I meet people, and I give them things, and I try to make them happy, but I remain guarded. I try to remain this happy, sexy, whatever person until it doesn't work out, and then something snaps inside of me, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I become the ugliest person because I don't understand why another person took so much from me and gave me nothing in return, and like how they were able to do that. And it's just, it blows me away. Like, I could never enter somebody's life, and that, like, I would never enter somebody's life that I had no intention of being in or wanting to be in, because if I don't want to be in your life, I'm just not going to ever talk to you. That makes sense to me. If I want to be in your life, I'll talk to you, and then I'll be in your life. It's crazy. But I don't know. Maybe it's not. Maybe I'm super unguarded. Maybe they all see how vulnerable I am, and they don't want to touch me because of it. But every single one of the people that I've dated, in my view, are more broken than I am. They're all in love with their exes. They always talk about their exes, go on forever about their exes. They all need something from me. 2 of them didn't have a place to live. Like, you know, what happened with my ex was bad, but he was financially stable. We had a place together, and he was committed to me regardless of whether or not he wanted to be. And, you know, at the end of the day, if I call him and I need something, he's gonna be there. And if he calls me and I need something, I'm gonna be there. It might not be romantic anymore, but that's still love. And if any of my exes called me tomorrow and was like, Sabrina, I'm sick. Sabrina, I need this. Sabrina, it's an emergency. I would fucking be there so fast, because I love every single person who's ever touched my life, even if I hate them. I have this deep understanding. I'm in this crazy, the one thing I love about myself, and I'm this crazy thing where I'm alone in this. I have such a great capacity for love that I truly don't understand sometimes. Sometimes I hate it about myself because I feel like I go around loving everyone I meet, but also hating them. I see every flaw that every person might have, and I try to accept them for it, and sometimes it really blows up in my face because I be accepting the wrong types of people into my life. But I just do love everyone. And when I feel like someone's alone or doesn't have anybody, that makes it worse for me almost. I want to make it better. I want to make them better. I want to be more for them so they feel better. And what ends up happening is that they then get better, and then they go and have a good life, and then I end up alone at a campsite by myself, divorced, and dead cat, and no friends. I'm angry, you know? I get mad at everybody. I don't trust anyone. You know, if someone talks to me or whatever, I'll immediately see red flags now. I'll be like, no, I feel too tired to talk to them. I don't want to give them energy. If I feel like they're requiring me to entertain them, or they want some type, or I feel like they want anything from me, I'll just not respond. I'll get too tired. I'll be like, no, I'm good. And it's like, you know, I don't know really how to ask for more. And if I do, then they just ghost or disappear. So it's like, whatever. And then I just don't date. I just do my own thing. But yet somehow, like, I just feel like shit. Like, somehow it just still feels like shit, because, like, I try to make friends and I can't. Hang out with my old friends and I can't. And, like, I don't know, I just see the same person usually all the time, and I usually fucking feel bad. I feel like I make her feel guilty almost to be my friend. Which she's gonna be like, it's not true, Sabrina. I love you very much. And she does. Today, she texted my ex, and I am okay with it. She was like, are you sure? She's like, I'm so sorry. She was like, I you know, I had to do it. And so he lives here. I don't know anybody here. And I went to Pride, and I saw him at Pride, and because of it, I got absolutely smashed. And then I couldn't get out of my car. And again, like, I just don't think it's him. I don't think it's him. I don't think he's even that great. I don't think, you know, I think he showed me a lot of stuff, and there was a lot of lying, and there was a lot of, like, fake bullshit involved, and I think it really did hurt to know that he was, like, basically in a relationship with somebody else the whole time that he was just telling me was a friend. The whole thing is really, it really shook me to my core, just the lying in general. And then taking away friends, though, that's really where it gets off. And then on top of it, it's this idea, and it's making me so sick to my stomach that I can't breathe, that people see me. And maybe I'm ugly. Maybe I'm ugly as fuck. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe it's impossible for people to see me as a partner, or to say that this is the person I love, because I open my mouth and they're like, look at those teeth. I don't fucking know. And maybe that sounds so unconfident of me. People are like, oh my god, you're so confident all the time. I'm actually super not. I just know that I can't change it, and you're gonna love me or hate me regardless. I can't change my face. You'll either accept me or you won't. It saves me a lot of bullshit. So, you know, I'm like, maybe it's my face, I don't fucking know, but everybody just wants this version of me, or a part of me. They don't want to attend to me or keep me forever, but they want to be entertained by this part of me. And that's not just relationships, everybody. I just, man, like, am I a fucking monkey? Am I a fucking circus act? I jump through hoops? I can't even fucking write poetry anymore. I can't fucking write music anymore. I haven't written lyrics in fucking months. I can't. I fucking can't. I went to my spot the other day to write lyrics, and I couldn't, because somebody I dated was in my fucking spot. I gotta quiet down, because I'm at camp and it's quiet time. But yeah. And the crazy thing is I'm angry about it, but I'm not even angry at that person. And I keep thinking, like, every single one of these people did something to me that I have every right to be angry about. And I'm not. I'm just sad because I miss them, and I forgive them, and I don't know why I'm the problem. I don't know why I was the bad guy. I don't know why I got left behind, why I get abandoned, because I am the one who does the right thing. I'm the one who's getting left. I'm the one who's getting hurt. Why do I get the abandoned also? And I know a lot of it is because I go a little bit crazy afterwards, but also, like, I don't know what it is with this generation and thinking that there's not consequences for your actions, or not allowing me to have the reaction to your bullshit. If you do something wrong to somebody, this generation has become so fucked, because if you want to break up with somebody, you send a text. If you want to confront somebody, you send a text. And then also, if you don't want to, you can just block them, avoid them, have all your friends block them so they can never see anything about you or know anything about you or talk to you or accost you. But the crazy thing about that, Ian, is that I am a real person, and this is the real world, and people can fucking approach you whenever they feel like it, if they find you. And that's not crazy. That's just holding you accountable for your actions, which I never did. I could have. I didn't. I did do it to somebody once. I went up to their fucking house and I knocked on the door, and look where that got me. Because that same person recently, because they were still my friend, right? Friend, texted me to tell me that they can't be. So first off, they borrowed my shirt, and I was like, deuces. Because anytime I let a friend borrow any of my clothes, I never see that bitch again. And so after like a month, I was like, hey, is you good, or did you borrow a shirt of mine and then disappear? And he was like, oh, I'm not disappearing from your life, just got a lot going on, blah blah. Alright, fam. I was like, I'll talk to you soon in person. I'm like, alright, cool. I've known this man was in love with his ex for the last 2 years. I'm not chasing after him, and I don't care. I've been with like 80 other people, and like, it's not a big deal. But you are my friend. We are friends. I just lost my cat. I'm going through a lot of shit right now. I feel really fucking lonely. And no one's responding to me. So what the fuck? And then, like a month later, I sent him another text. And I'm like, I don't remember what it was. It was maybe a song or something. I might have just sent a song. And he was like, forget about me. Go tell the saints I'm nothing. Blah, 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 blah. I was like, oh, hell to the motherfucking no with this sob story ass bullshit. This, oh, and this is where it gets me. Where it got me with Ian and the rest of them is that somehow they're victims of their bullshit. You're about to delete me as a friend in real life. But rather than doing that or saying I'm an asshole, deuces, you said, or not, instead of just being who you are and then being deuces and being accountable, you were like, go tell the saints I'm nothing, blah, 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 because I ain't shit and you deserve better. Get the fuck on. Get the fuck on. Just say the truth. I know it. I've always known it. You're back with your ex. I can't be around. That's right. I known it. I always known it. So stop acting like I'm chasing you. Stop acting like I want more from you, because I don't. That pissed me off. Ian spit everywhere. The last time before the last time I saw him, I almost didn't want to see him again because he was so negative and like weird about going into the water. And then his friends took a picture of us, and his friend and I were all together, and he was like over here. His friends and I were here, and he was like right here. And I knew it was because it was going to go on Facebook, and he didn't want, I assume, maybe his ex to see it, because he was posting stuff on Snapchat for her to see, hopefully, and she didn't care. She was her new man. But no, the gears were working that I knew about the other girl the whole time, and that's might be why why he didn't stand next to me in the photo. I always know. And so I was like, you know, maybe I should just take it some distance. I get a text from him asking me to come out here because he's really going through it right now because of his breakup with his girlfriend of 3 years, even though I was divorced after 11. Going through this breakup, and he's like, I really need you, can come out here, blah, 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 but you can't stay past Wednesday, because Wednesday at 10 a.m. I'm supposed to go meet somebody when they fly out here. I know it's this bitch. Leaves me at 10 a.m. to go meet with the bitch. We've already talked about this. We've been over this story. We don't need to go over it again. The point is, I was at a point where I was kind of like, this guy ain't shit. And then what happened was, I got abandoned. This is where things get weird. I got abandoned, and then all of a sudden, this guy is like roses. He smells like greatness. There's no shit. I smelled shit only because he was so unhappy with what was happening with us. No, You smelled shit because he shit, and you deserved better, and he wasn't giving it to you because he had a whole thing lined up for when that person moved out here. He was gonna cut you the entire fucking time and never told you the truth. Just continued to lead you on. He took me on this trip to like this hill thing to see the stars, and when we get up there, it's like overlooking the whole city, and he like kisses me. Then a shooting star passes by later on, and he kisses me again. He's like, it's fate. And then we're at the bar, and he's telling me how beautiful I am as a person, inside and out, blah blah blah. And I'm like, I told him again, you need to be careful with what you say to me because I get very attached, and like, you've told me you don't want a relationship out of this after he slept with me, so why would I continue? Like, make it make sense. So it's crazy to me because, again, there was a part of me that was like, this isn't going to work out. But then I gave it the benefit of the doubt, and then I got dumped, and then all of a sudden, make me make sense. Same thing with Daddy-O. The fuck? I did not want him for 2 years. I don't want him. But now, I do just miss him as a friend, but now I'm like, why do you think you're better than me? Why do you think I'm the chaser, you're not the chase? You should be chasing. Because I wanted to keep you sober. And like, I'm not gonna put his business out there, but my point was, is like, I'm better than him. I'm better than all of them. I'm sorry if you're hearing this and you see it. It sucks to know. I am more emotionally evolved. I have a lot more intuition. And I fucking learn. I learn eventually. It takes me a few times to learn, but I learn eventually. And I grow. And he will always live here for the rest of his fucking life, going through relationship after relationship after relationship. Each one of them will last 2 to 3 years. None of them will be anything realistic or solidified. Then, what the hell are they doing over there, bro? They're like shining red and green lights. This one will get back together with his ex. He'll continue to stay here because he has to until his kid turns 18 anyways. But he'll never be anything more than what he wants to be, which is a felon bad boy who just can't get it together, and he doesn't deserve a woman. All women deserve more. He'll always be a whiny bitch. And then tell me, oh, I am a man now, blah, blah, blah. Oh, in a month? Baby, you ain't a man until you become accountable for your motherfucking actions. And people are like, I'm gonna be like, how often do you apologize, Sabrina? Here's the thing. Not often. And the reason is because most of my life, I live with intent. Everything that I do with intent. And if I do something wrong to somebody, almost immediately, without them having to ask, without there being a whatever, I say, oh my God, I'm so fucking sorry. And I start with that. I'm so fucking sorry. I'm so fucking sorry. It doesn't go, I had a bad day and you were there, so that happened, my bad. It doesn't go, I'm sorry, she was yelling at me, and then I couldn't get together, so now no, it's any type of making you the victim is not an actual apology. I don't know how many people I have to tell that in the real world, but it's a thing. So no, you won't hear me make a lot of apologies to people that are drawn out, or anything dramatic, or anything that feels whatever, because I'll always do it. If I owe someone an apology, I'll do it immediately. That's accountability. And I don't add shit to it. I just say, oh my God, I'm so fucking sorry. If they ask for an explanation, I'll give them one. But I'm not just gonna give someone a reason for my shitty behavior. There's no reason to ever be shitty to other people. You can have shitty behavior and there be a reason for it, but that doesn't mean you get to take it on other people. And the other one will love his ex forever. He'll love her forever. Forever. And I'll keep talking to my ex. And we'll continue to be friends, and then hate each other the next day, and then be friends, and then hate each other the next day. And maybe one day we'll get it right. You know, maybe one day it'll work out. Maybe that's why nothing else works out. Maybe, you know, I knew he was my soulmate, and I do believe in those. But I just don't ever see us being together again that way. I don't see myself having those same feelings, or even him having those same feelings. once you stop doing things for your partner, and you stop, like, showing them, like, once you stop showing up for your partner, it's impossible to really get that back. That trust, once that bridge breaks, it's not something that can be rebuilt. You really have to start over, and unless both parties are willing to start over, like, truly from scratch, like, working hard to earn back your partner or the life that you had, I mean, it's a lot of effort that people don't always want to do. They're like, that's my partner, why should I have to do that? But you do, you know. And unfortunately, I just don't see us ever fitting together again. I'm a very different person. He's a very different person. We're very similar, but we want different things out of life. You know, he wants to have a big house and a life in a solidified area. He doesn't mind staying here for the rest of his life. He doesn't want to, but he doesn't mind it. You know, as long as he can have these things and be financially stable. He was a little bit too financially stable, you feel me? I, on the other hand, am not as financially stable, but I'm very spontaneous. I have to do everything right now, right then. I have ADHD. I'm very annoying. And there were times when, like, we would fight, and I look back on it now, and I go, he really just didn't understand that, like, I mean, I understood that there was a problem, but I didn't know it was ADHD. I communicated that I needed space or that I needed things. It was just, I don't know. It was complicated. Life is complicated, but I just don't see that ever being a thing. But I don't actually think I love or have loved any of these other people, not in a way that was romantic or, like, I don't know. I think that it was this unhealthy attachment. One of you is gonna watch this and laugh so motherfucking hard at me for that statement. I think it's an unhealthy attachment that I get when I feel people leaving my life and I don't want them to go. I'll do and say anything to make them stay, and I convince myself of it. I so desperately want them to love me and stay that I'm like, I love you. I'll do anything for you. You know, I can't live without you. I can't breathe without you, because I really believe it. This is part of me that believes that without their validation, without their love, I'm nothing. And it's true. And here's why. In my whole life, and somebody said this to me once, I'm looking at you, you know who you are. Someone said this to me once, and I was like, that's not true. I'm not a vulnerable person. I don't require people's love in order to feel good about myself. Like, I am confident. I know I'm a bad bitch. I know I deserve love, blah, blah. And that can all be true, but so can the other. I don't feel like I need it, but I do. I need love to survive. I'm happiest when I'm loved, when someone's paying attention to me, when I'm being showered in love, gifts, kisses, whatever. I'm at my happiest. But when things are turmoiled or they're arguing with me, I'm angry, I'm frustrated, everything feels and then when they leave, it's like my whole world comes crashing down. Outside of that, I have no real hobbies. I can't write unless I'm in love. I can't do this unless I can't do anything unless I'm happy and in love. And I'm not in love. I've just convinced myself of it. And the reason I think for that is I spent my entire childhood, it always comes back to your childhood, guys. I spent my entire childhood proving I was worthy of love to someone I shouldn't have had to. Spent my whole childhood trying to seek validation from someone who should have given it to me for free, without strife. I've mourned my whole life. I said this earlier. I mourned my childhood. I've mourned my friends. I lost a lot of them early, a lot of them to suicide. One of them was hit by a fucking truck. We weren't really close, but it still was fucking crazy. I lost family members that died suddenly or instantly. My grandma, my cat. I mean, I feel like a lot of times I'm just mourning a lot. I mourn the time that I can't get back. Every time I take a shower, I get stressed out. Every time I go to sleep, I get stressed out. I feel like I'm losing time, always losing time, always losing time. Where's the time going? Where's the time going? I'm 30, I've done nothing. Where does the time go? I'm 30, I've not seen the world. Where does the time go? I'm 30, like, I don't have kids because I can't, and because things didn't work out in my life. Like, I'm 30, and you know, I'm still figuring it out. I'm growing. I am. I've grown a lot. I have. And I love that about my life. And I know that that's what makes me better than these people, is I'll continue to keep growing because I reflect like this, because I look back on it, because I try to do better. But, you know, that, deceit is not the right word. That deficit, that deficit in that, what's the word I'm looking for? That strive for love, and the deficit of having that loss, that stuff where I lost, you know, my mom left me early. My dad just kind of came home, always went into his room. I had a deficit of love, and I had just, it was a mess. And like I said, I said a deficit of love, and then I was always mourning. So I had that also on top of it. And I thought the only way, or I was taught the only way that I was worth anything or worth of any value is if I could make these people happy. Oh, fuck, this is so gross. So that's what I did. I tried. I wanted them to be proud of me, and it ruined my whole life. I wanted a van from the time that I was a 17-year-old kid. I wanted to be my first car. My dad convinced me to get a sports car instead. And I think it's because he didn't want me to go around the world like that. And then I got married, and I got the Equinox. And the first thing I did with the Equinox was took it to my dad's to show him. And he took pictures. And I just really wanted that guy to be proud of me. I really wanted that guy to love me a lot. And I don't want to always be this person who has to go back to my childhood forever and blame it. I don't blame it on, I do and I don't. Because, like, at this point, I'm old enough, I'm trying to reverse all of it, and I'm old enough to recognize it, and that's a great first step. But also, like, it still feels like, because of the childhood that I had, because of the father that I had, there are pieces of me that don't work right, or there are pieces of me that aren't balanced. And that's one of them, is that I do what I did for him for these people. And I did see it when I was working for Brian at Windsor Mold, and Brian would always pick me for special, like, stuff that we did and runs, and he gave me a special job, and he really believed in me. And that, we're getting there, mister. That validation, that pride from a man that was older than me, and I seek it in almost every boss I've ever had, makes me feel good. It gives me life. And that's disgusting to, like, feel or know that I need these things in order to be happy or to function. It truly makes me sad, because I'm like, it's not your fault. It's not my fault. There was nothing I could have done to make that different. I can't go back in time and give myself the love I didn't have. And now I want it so badly. I'll do anything for it. Just like when I was a kid, I wanted it so badly, I would do anything for it. You know, and that's why I think my ex got so much from me. I wrote him music, and I wrote him songs about him, and I wrote him poems about him, and I, you know, made him specialty cakes, and I stayed up with him to do special things. Like, I don't really know how to describe it. Obviously, it was 11 years of marriage, but I did things only because of this fear that if I didn't do the things, if I was myself, if I asked for more, if I complained more, if I whatever, that I would just, that he could just leave. He could just leave. And a friend of mine had a partner who said that to them once, and I was like, that's why I'll tell them to leave. Because if you can just leave, then you're shit. If you can't hear what your partner has to say, if you can't do their stuff either, you just leave. I forgot where I was going with that, but I needed it. And I still have yet to find that unconditional thing that makes me feel good forever, but I don't want that. I'm at a point in my life where I want to see the world, and my fucking finances are so out of whack, and my life is so out of whack, that I'm like, at this point, like, I just want to focus on my shit, like I have been. I'm just so lonely. It's just so fucking lonely. And, you know, I don't know. I don't like who I'm becoming. I feel like I'm becoming someone who's angry and doesn't want to talk to anybody and doesn't trust other people. And I don't have the energy to talk to other people because I just feel like they want something from me, so I just won't talk to them. And I know that that's like super fucking unhealthy, all of it. So, you know, I don't want to be like that. You know, I want to be the happy, loving, carefree Sabrina, but I just can't. My necklace is caught around my neck and is choked. Oh my god. I was like, why is it choking me? It was like caught. Sorry guys, I had to take that off. It was murdering me. Yeah. Sorry, all of my videos lately have been really depressing. This is more like a diary. It's just that if something happens to me, I want you guys to know everything. I want my whole truth and everything that I am there. I want it recorded. I want my thoughts and my feelings and my sides of the story, and how I felt in the moment, and you know, and I like that you guys get to pick me apart. I like that I pick myself apart. I like that this is like become some type of psychological therapy for me, to work things out, you know, and you guys get to watch me work them out in real time. And a lot of it is repetitive, or a lot of it lately has been repetitive. It's a lot of the same stuff over and over and over again, but it's really just me trying to relearn how to live without love, so that when I do seek it in the future, I'm seeking the right things, or I get the right things from the right partners, because I'm not bleeding this vulnerability out anymore. This sign on my face that says free use, please hurt me and then leave. I tell all these people too. I'm like, you know, I told Mr. that, you know, you're not gonna be my friend one day. And he was like, that's not true, you know, we'll always be friends, and even when I move away, like, I'll still talk to you. I knew that wasn't gonna be true, because I knew I would go, I don't know, I get crazy and attached, and he was an asshole also who said I was delusional, so I didn't deserve that. You know, and I always know. You know, this guy, I told him a million times, I was like, please don't do that, you know? I always know, and I try to protect myself, but it doesn't work out. I don't know, man. It's crazy. It's a crazy world we're living in. I just want to be better. I want to do better. I want to love better. I want to be happier. I want to be able to be without love. And I just want, you know, I think if they can see it on me, then maybe that's why I attract those people. But then I'm like, you think about my parents and having to seek that validation from them, and you think about my ex, who I went 6 months chasing, and you think about all the other people after that. I've never been pursued by somebody that I've dated. I have been pursued by people I don't want to be with. I'm sure everybody has. That doesn't mean I should take it. But I've never been pursued by somebody I wanted, which is really unfortunate. And maybe it's that I only want people who won't want me, or that I like the chase, or that the chase is too much for them, or I don't know. But I don't know why I'm not the type of girl that somebody walks into the room and goes, I'm gonna marry her. Because that's the type of love that I want. My grandfather and my grandma had it, and my nana and my papa, they got divorced and they got back together, but they still had it. But my granny and my papa, he saw her for the first time at bowling. Divorced man with 2 kids. And he's like, that's the woman I'm gonna marry. And shot him down. He tried again. And then something happened with his divorce, and she split from him for like 6 months. That got finalized. Everything was fine. He took her out again. They were happily married for years after that. That's what I want. I want to be the type of woman, or not the type of woman, I guess, but the type of person that somebody goes, that's who I want to be with. And when, you know, Ian went and picked another person, well, she was his choice in the beginning, I just didn't know it. I was just a placeholder. It made me feel like, why not me? What did she have that I don't? And I know, yeah, I know what she got that I don't. She lives closer, and she has her own place that he could move into. But you know, I go through that a lot. I'm like, what did she have that I didn't? What did so-and-so have that I didn't? I compare myself to these people. I'm like, why? And then the people that left me, they end up in relationships like a month later, a week later. Why do they deserve it and I don't? And then I just keep telling myself, well, look at how quickly that happened. It can't be. I've been on the dating pool, okay? That quickness, well, his wasn't quick, I guess, because I think they knew each other for a while, and I think that was like a whole setup. But a lot of them, they're so quick. I'm like, that quickness tells me that you're just taking what will take you. It feels weird. And if I'm being honest, I keep thinking like, I'm gonna be 32 in Australia somewhere. Like, I'll finally get to travel, or I'll finally do something with my life, because I'll stop focusing on this bullshit and I'll be able to get my life together and find a purpose. And when I find that purpose, I'm gonna be in Australia looking at the turtles, and some beautiful person is going to come up to me with a wonderful accent, and they're going to sweep me off of my feet. I'm going to be getting out of the water on a ladder, and they're going to be with a surfboard, and they're going to be like, hi, do you need some help up the ladder? And I'll be like, yeah, I need some help up the ladder. And they'll be like, here you go. And I'll be like, oh, thank you. And then they'll be like, what's your name? I'll be like, Sabrina. And then we'll get married. I don't know if I could ever do that again. I just want a soulmate. But that's what it is. And I'm like, or is it because you're still involved with your ex? And are you still involved with your ex because you do maybe eventually something happen, or you hope that, or is it just because you guys do know each other and have been together for a long time? It's a very complicated with that one. And it always will be. And if people don't understand that, that feels like their problem and not mine. And this is why I'm still single. I don't know. My whole point to this is that I'm not good. Please stop asking me to be good. Please stop asking me to do stuff. Please stop asking me if I can do something for you. Don't ask me to do stuff for you, especially if you can't do something for me. I came on this trip all by my fucking self. Why do I do anything for anybody? I came on this trip by myself. Why do I do it for anybody? Like, it's obnoxious. And like, I'll ask people for help, and they don't do it. The same person helps me with everything. It's just obnoxious. The whole thing.